Nationwide protests again today. Yeah, and I've heard from some people, by which I mean I saw on Twitter, apparently some folks aren't happy with the protest turnout. What folks? Well, from what I heard, it's that there weren't a lot of young people.
You need to come join us, because it is only when all the decent people from all the different groups, Trump fans,
President, for fascism dominating the world with the climate and a typical...
I thought it was important to be here on President's Day.
It does kind of seem like it's all early millennials and Gen Xers. Whenever I see the clips, it's like older people, you know? You'd think there'd be a lot of younger people. But young people don't know how to protest. They just know how to eat hot chip and lie. Same thing happened in Poland. Young people didn't care about the fascists. They started to care later. I think it's just because it's cool to not care, you know? So for a lot of young people, it's like maybe in the abstract they see things are bad, but it's like, whatever, man. The world's f***ed anyway. But the effects haven't started to set in yet, you know? Young people have also never seen a protest achieve much, probably. Yeah, well, they often don't. Unholy hell, that Elon pic. It does look like somebody stretching clay over a skull. Yeah. How old are you? I'm 31. But it's chilly out there? It is chilly out there. I have a Zoomer friend like this, prefers to take nothing seriously and just shrugs and goes, yeah, things suck, Lamau. Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, like the resigned nihilism, basically. It's a pretty common attitude for young people at all times, but probably not the best way to respond to the current situation, I would imagine. Dude, American protests suck. In Brazil, there'd be so much music and drums. Well, it's kind of like a community alienation thing. Not to bring everything back to urban design, but like it is, because historically, when protests happened, it wasn't like you would get up and be like, I will drive to the protest, and then you park near the protest and then go to the protest or whatever. It would be like there would be an organic outpouring of people from the streets. Like literally your neighborhood or your whole college or whatever, you know, like it wouldn't just be like, I am going to attend the protest. It would be this like broad, you know, social push. That's one of the reasons why the BLM protests were attended by so many people, because there was so much of an outcry. You get like momentum to these protests, you know?
Day to demonstrate for what America stands for. American values are not the values of the plutocracy or the limited few rich people. American values are about what we are as a country all together. It's about inclusion, it's about working together, it's about checks and balances, and all of that I'm afraid of being eroded with the current administration.
I think it might also be maybe young people aren't really interested in this rhetoric because it's basically like, we don't want people like Trump. We want people like President Biden. President Biden followed the law, you know? Like that might not be a message that sells with young people, kind of, because if your only problem with Trump and Musk is that they're like blatantly violating the law, I don't know. It doesn't really. I think a lot of young people want Bernie Sanders to rule America with an iron fist, basically.
It felt like I could finally see how many of us there are and how many of us are unhappy with the way that this country is moving.
Well, that's
nice. It's disappointing, truly, and I thought we'd already been through this.
The revolutionary garb here. It's cute. It's cute. You know, whatever. I'm not gonna... Y'all would need some hyperinflation to discipline your butts. I don't really know what would need, like, what economic shock would be necessary to get the young people really involved, because young people have just kind of gotten used to the idea that rent should cost 65% of your income and everything else is relatively inexpensive. Like, groceries are not expensive in America. Luxury electronic goods, appliances, all pretty inexpensive in America, you know? It's literally just rent is the big, and medical bills, not just rent, but you know what I mean. Just a few massive costs because of, you know, rampant speculation for profit industry, so on. DoorDash, largest and most precious backbone of American economic well-being. What am I even saying? The Save Our Services protest is happening on February 19th for supporting federal workers. Yeah, see, this is kind of what I mean, I guess. And again, I'm not shit-talking the protesters or the nature of the protest or anything like that. I just think that people are so disillusioned right now that a lot of people, especially young people, are in favor of literally any change. So any protest that's like, we don't like the changes they're bringing, might not be able to bring over that constituency, you know? Because from their perspective, they're like, well, what were these federal workers doing for me anyway? You know? Utah passed the bill to kill unions for teachers, firefighters, and other public servants. Yeah, that sounds about right. I genuinely think hating on the Dems will definitely bring them out. Yeah, I think to a large extent, though that might alienate a lot of the resist libs. Difficult coalition to balance. If there's an ounce of nuance or thinking that needs to be done, kids won't care. No. I'm not shit-talking the kids here. This isn't me shit-talking them for being dumb or whatever. It's just like pro-status quo messaging does not resonate with them at all, you know? They are dumb, though. Yeah, but like people in general are dumb. Are we going to pretend that Gen Xers are smart? Are we going to pretend that, like, rural Pennsylvanian voters are smart? People are dumb. Might only be me, but I'm just not aware when protests occur. It probably doesn't help that the Democrats don't do anything to amp up the messaging. Like, the Democrats do not mobilize their federal soapbox to try to instigate action at all. Whereas, like, the Republicans constantly signal boost and engage, like, on every level, all the time. Republicans are signal boosting protests and, like, working with their content creators and grifters and messaging people to make sure everyone's, like, on board with the message at this moment, you know? Just, yeah, no coordination from the top. You do have some individual Democratic reps who try to via their own social media pages, but it's not the same as the, like, a consistent across-the-board messaging that you would need to get from the party as a whole, which, you know, it's definitely pretty, like, bad that Democrats don't have a leader at all. Like, no one actually thinks Jeffries or Schumer are leaders, not meaningfully, you know? Who the fuck is the leader right now? Because Kamala Harris and Biden went, "Good night, y'all," and they f***ed off. You know, Obama is just here to post his, like, Spotify Wrapped every year. He doesn't give a shit. Ken Martin disappeared. Well, Ken Martin isn't meant to be a leader. He's not an elected official. Ken Martin's a bureaucrat. You know, he was never going to be like the head of public messaging. Obama was unfortunately a rat. Yeah. I guess we'll see what comes of it. Things might ramp up when it's warmer, too. You don't want Obama back. He didn't do anything but lead the world down this path. Dude, when people, like, hype up Obama for a third term, like, you know, like a joke or whatever, it fills me with so much despair. When you get like 250,000 likes, Black Twitter is like, yo, Obama's gonna come back, you know? Oh, you want Trump for a third term? He's back. And it's like, damn, he's not doing shit. He's not gonna fix any of this. We're so far past that point. Also, he wouldn't want to. They're saying the trans man that got tortured to death was not a hate crime. Is there any evidence that it was? Like, apart from the obvious implication, but, like, in order to rule it a hate crime, you would need, like, text messages or any evidence like that, you know what I mean? Like, the prosecutors aren't going to make that assumption just based on the victim being a member of a minority group. You need to substantiate it with you know, some evidence to that point. Though, obviously, you know, given the circumstances, I think it's reasonable in a non-courtroom sense to assume that it probably was a hate crime. For me, as a young person, it's mostly hard to see what a solution could be, but I'm also 18 and not as experienced. I don't know what the f to do about Walmart chasing out smaller grocery stores, but I know Walmart is bad, but I feel powerless. Yeah, well, you can't really do anything about that. Like, as an individual, you have no ability. People with the, like, vote with your wallet, just go to the, you know, local craft grocery store that's twice as expensive, that appeals to, you know, upper middle class housewives. It's that you're, like, yeah, you can't boycott Walmart. You can barely boycott anything, certainly not Walmart. You know, it's a systemic thing. And try the best in the... I genuinely think the best way to spite the system and the thing they can never take from you is just learning how to cook. I mean that, okay? It is shocking how much you can slim down the cost there just by knowing how to cook. Wow, so you're trying to kill my burrito taxi driver's job? I might be. I might be. Is progressive victory still a thing? Somebody doesn't watch my videos or all my streams. Yeah, but electric and natural gas prices, that shit doesn't. You cooking is not meaningful. The amount you save by cooking rather than ordering food or eating out or whatever else is so much greater than the cost of using your oven from time to time. Get an air fryer, man. Life-changing. Mexican food is so easy to make. That's my go-to. Yeah.